everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a brand new video for you guys. So I wanted to basically get some stuff out of the way for the new year. It's the start of a new year, it's 2015. I have a bunch of goals I want to accomplish this year, and you guys really wanted a personal video. I talked to a lot of you guys and you were like, I love the talking videos. I love when you talk to us about like things that have happened in your life. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my New Year's resolutions. Well, I mean, not just necessarily a resolution, but an overall outlook on life and just something that I've dealt with. So this is not an easy topic for me to talk about and kind of just throw around, but so basically this year, one of the number one things I want to do is fully and completely just like accept my body for the way it is, but I also want to help change my body. You know, the reason that you should want to change your body is because you love it and you care about it. You should want to be as healthy as possible because you love your body, because you care about it. You know, you want to make yourself feel as good as possible at all times. And so definitely one of my main goals this year is to definitely start feeling good. And so I think the way to do that is to kind of get like flush everything out of my like just peripheral vision. So basically, I don't really know how I'm gonna start this part, but so a couple years ago, some of you guys may know, I dealt with a really bad spat of like depression. I've had depression a couple times. I think I've said this before, but and during that time, well, let's see, it was freshman year, so that's 2 years ago. I'm a junior in high school, so I was a freshman, and I dealt really, basically, I started a second case of depression. So I'd had depression when I was about the 5th or 6th grade was the first time I started having depression, and that was actually when the problem started arising of like eating issues. Like I was very, well, no, that's not necessarily true. Okay, so 5th and 6th grade was the first time I had depression, and that was something that was like, obviously, how do you deal with depression when you're in 5th and 6th grade? You kind of just have to go with it. So, you know, I dealt with it, got it done, over with, and then I figured out if you have depression once in your life, you're more than likely gonna have it more than once. Yay, awesome. You're more likely at risk to get it again. That's just kind of how the brain works. Studying psychology definitely helps you understand this stuff. I'm in an AP psychology class right now and I love it, and it definitely helps you understand things. But basically, I got depression for the second time in high school, my freshman year. And so I basically, I don't know how to do this. So basically freshman year was a very rough year for me. I think it's probably the hardest year I've had in my entire life, dealing with just the outlook of things. I surrounded myself with people that were unhealthy for me, and it was just a very bad experience, and I've since cut those people out of my life. But during that time I was having a really hard time dealing with a lot of what was going on around me. I was depressed. I was like, and I didn't necessarily know I was depressed, because the first time I had depression, it was more of a like blatant awareness. I was like, okay, I know I'm depressed. And this time it kind of creeped in, and it creeped in through the people that I was around. And that's why I always tell people you need to be careful who you surround yourself with, because it does influence you. As much as you like to think, oh, I'll stay my same person, I'll be myself, you'll still be yourself, but they can definitely influence you, and you need to remember that and keep that in mind when you are talking to people. So those people influenced me, and you know, I had never set up boundaries in my life before that point, so I kind of was just free-for-all all over the place with these people, and I kind of let people run over me and do things to me that I was not okay with. Not like physical things, but you know, like mental things. And I'm learning that going into this new year, mental health and mental awareness and feeling good in your brain is the number one place that it starts. Before you can do anything else to your body or to how you look at life, you need to get your mental health in check. And so I was dealing with this stuff, and so essentially I would go to school and I didn't eat before I went to school, and I didn't eat at school, and then I'd come home and I would eat like everything. And that's kind of how I would deal with things, was like, okay, well, I'm upset, I'm just not gonna eat. And then when I was upset again, sometimes I would eat all the time, and then I wouldn't eat again, and then I would eat all the time. And it's hard because it's like I didn't know how to be healthy with it, and nobody knew about it at all. Nobody picked up on it. People were kind of just like, okay, yeah, whatever. You know, because when you don't eat lunch, you're just kind of like, oh, I'm not hungry, or I'll just eat a granola bar, or I just ate, I'm fine, I ate a big breakfast, and people brush it off, and that's totally fine, and no one really knew about it, and that was okay. You know, it was just not healthy of how I deal with things now too. When things get really stressful, I don't really know how to deal with things than what I can control. And so that's sometimes not an easy thing to do or to deal with. And you know, to admit that you have, like, you eat when you're stressed or you don't eat when you're stressed, it's a very, like, rough thing. And I understand, and I want to tell, like, girls out there and guys out there, because this isn't just a girl problem, that, like, I can sympathize with you. I know how that feels. And you know, this year is all about me being healthy, and you know, I've gotten to the point where I can find boundaries in my life of what I can and can't eat. You know, I remember one day, like, when I first started driving, I like went back and forth between fast food places. I just went back and forth. Like one day I remember I went and like I picked up McDonald's, and then literally right after that I drove to Chick-fil-A and got food. Like I just didn't know how to be healthy. I didn't know how to like eat what was right for me. I didn't know what was right for me. And so it can be very scary. It can be intimidating to like admit that you don't have it all together. Also, sorry for my nail. Sorry, I'm just interrupting this really like deep talk to say that I have a broken nail, but I'm sorry. So yeah, and you know, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that, you know, you need to learn to be healthy, and you know, you will. I'm there. I'm healthy. I'm going to the gym, but I'm not overdoing the gym. I'm eating, but I'm not over or underdoing it, you know. And so essentially what I was doing was not eating and then eating a 1,000-calorie meal, which if you know anything about healthy eating, that is not the way you do it. That totally screws up your metabolism. It is just really, really bad for you, especially because when you start to like starve yourself, the fat in your body just kind of conserves itself, and it's just not good. It's not good at all. And like I was saving my lunch money. Like I remember one day I just like, my mom would give me lunch money every day, and some days I was like, no mom, I don't need any, I got some and stuff, because she would give me more than I needed. Like I think lunch was like $3 or $4, so she'd give me, some days she'd give me like $5s, so I didn't necessarily need it. And so I would save the lunch money, and I remember one day I just pulled out this thing of lunch money, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have all this stuff because I haven't eaten lunch any of these days. And it was just, it's something that's like, you know, it's okay to talk about these kinds of things. It's okay to say, you know, I don't have it all together all the time. I don't, you know, some days I eat a Big Mac, or some days I eat a McFlurry, or some days I do this, and I'm not a perfect human being, and I'm not always a clean eater, and I'm not always, you know, I watch a lot of fitness accounts on here, and I love what they do. I think they're so cool, and I admire them for that. And you know, I go to the gym as much as I possibly can, and I love it. But I also want you to know that there are people out there that are like human, because I know sometimes you look at those people and you're like, they're superhuman, they never mess up. But you know, it's okay. You are gonna have days where you mess up, and that's what I want to go into 2015 thinking about. You know, this is a clean slate, and you may mess up this year, and you may do something this year that you feel really, really guilty about, but that shouldn't screw up the rest of 2015 for you. This can be your year. This could be our year, you guys. We could do this. And you know, that's why I'm trying to take charge this year. You know, be healthy, do things for myself, you know, cut off the people that I don't need. And I definitely think that you guys should think about this too. You know, get healthy, get help if you need some. I'm leaving links down in the description if you need any help with anything. I'm also leaving my email address down there. I know a lot of people have wanted to talk to me about things. If you ever have something you want to talk to me about, that is a business email. However, you can use it for an issue email. I don't want like personal emails, just be like, hey girl, what's up? But like, I do want emails of you guys if you need help, or DM me on Twitter, or follow me on Instagram, or write me a comment, or just something. Do something, and I will promise I will reach back out, and I will help you as much as I possibly can. I'm not like a trained psychologist or anything. I can't tell you like exactly what the problem is, but I can give you as much advice as I can. Like I said, links are in the description. Surrounding yourself with unhealthy people is just terrifying, and this is the year for you to cut the unhealthy people off. I'm telling you right now, in this next week, figure out as many people on Instagram that you can unfollow as you possibly can. Having those people in your peripheral vision, or having them just around you, is so terrible and negative. You can do this. This is gonna be your year. And like, think about it. You've already made it through all these past years. You can make it through another one, and just try as much as you can to be as positive as you can about this year. I'm just trying to be as positive as possible going in, so I can be like, this is it. This is my year. This is it. I'm here. I have arrived. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but I wrote on Twitter my 2015 like resolutions, just kind of like, you know, I was saying how I wanted to be healthy and tone up, and you know, all this stuff, and then the last one was just take over 2K15, and I fully plan on doing that this year. You guys better watch out. No, I'm kidding. But again, like I said, this year should be a year of like admittance for everybody to just be able to openly air out things that have happened to them and just not feel ashamed. You know, this was a hard video for me to just sit down and be like, yeah guys, I kind of like binge eat when I'm really stressed and I don't eat when I'm really stressed, and it's hard, but it's okay. You can do this. I know you guys can, and we're gonna take over 2K15, and that's all there is to it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back here later with my broken nail.